Welcome, welcome, and welcome. My name is Miss Diana, and I am your guide through this level one, part one experience. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a quick slideshow to share with you, and then we'll get into our songs. So here's just a couple details that are important to keep in mind as you work through this course together. This is a flex course for level one book, and we're split this into three parts. So this is part one as we work through about the first 20 or so pages of the book. Welcome, you are officially Piano Adventures. Once more, my name is Miss Diana. Let's get started. So just the first reminder I have for you here is I am here for you. I want you to remember that you can message me in your learner chat or directly through the classroom if you have any questions or you just want to share anything through the week. Number two, you do need a pencil and a highlighter for every class. So if you've taken the Faber Piano Adventures with me, you might notice it was only a pencil, and this time we do need a highlighter as well for the journey. Number three, let's take a look at what these students are all doing. Each of these learners are doing something in common. Take a look for a moment. Did you catch it? They are all practicing, right? You have soccer practice, basketball practice, dance practice, softball practice. Every sport requires this ongoing practice to happen in order to work through their material, in order to get better each time they show up for a game. So the same is true for us. But I want you to think more of it as play, and play. You get to play piano. Notice I say you get to play piano. I'm sure you started this, you were like, I want to play piano. That's how I was when I first started. I was about 11 or 12 and I was like, I want to play. And when I got the opportunity, I took advantage, because practice not only makes, we don't say perfect here, but rather it makes progress. At least 4 days a week, playing through each song at least 3 times through. What does that mean? You can play more than 4 days a week. You could play more than 3 times through. Whatever it takes to truly make the progress necessary to move on each and every week. I also provide you with this Piano Practice Superstar. This is actually my favorite way to go about tracking my songs. This is something I still do when I practice. I do it directly on my music, but this is just an extra tool. So one of our first songs, we have our Firefly this week. So you could do Firefly. And now let's say you get to practicing starting on Tuesday. Now, I just simply do check marks. Like, let's say you play it through 5 times through because you start playing and you're like, I love this song. That is totally okay as well. You have the month and the dates for the week. I typically say to use one per week, maybe one every 2 weeks if it's a couple songs that you're working on. And you are welcome to submit this through your classroom so I can see it and celebrate you on your journey. I know you took a pause in the video. This is it. Let's begin. We're going to start on page 8 now of your book. So let's go ahead and turn there together. I'm going to walk you through our first song that we have. Just as I told you earlier, it's Firefly. So here is Firefly that we have today. Now this is a review piece. So again, if you were in the primer book or you're new to the series, this is really going to help gauge where you are right now. So here it says to circle the following symbols. I want you to take a moment, pause the video, and see if you can find and circle what it says after each of these bullet points. Go ahead. All right, so hopefully you got down exactly what it said. You have circling of your treble clef and then lining the G line for measure 1. So that's going to be our second line. Remember that the treble clef circles that second line for you. The second thing it asks for us to do was to circle the bass clef, and then you're going to trace the F line for measure 1. So I'll go ahead and do that. Number 3, you're going to circle mezzo forte and piano. So this is where I want you to grab your highlighter. It could be any color. I want you to highlight your dynamics. That's what we're going to start doing at this level. highlighting our dynamics. And then the last one is your time signature. So I'm going to go ahead and circle my time signatures at the beginning of the song. Did you get them? Hopefully. All right, let's go ahead. I like to do a quick analysis of our songs and then we will get started. So I'm going to zoom in a bit just so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I like to give you your starting notes. Your starting note here, your right hand 5 is on G and your 1 is on G. You'll notice that underneath the title, you also have the 5-finger scale that is to be used, which is the C 5-finger scale. That's the only one we've discovered through the primer series. I also like to give you an X anytime you have a skip. I will not be marking every single one, but I just wanted to help start you out. Now here on the second line, it is going to be going from the right hand to the left hand, and you'll see that in a moment when I play it for you. Over here, I want you to add a 5, and you're good with this first page. If you need a moment, go ahead and pause, make sure all of this is added, and then come on back so we can continue. Now the next page, we're going to add a couple skips as well. And here, so every time you have an X, that's going to equal a skip. Now these are skips as well down here, so we'll add those also. And one more here. Now down below here, I am adding a 1 at measure 15. And then you are good to go. Now I know at the end of the page, it does say transposing. We are actually not going to do that this round. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this entire song through for you. I want you to just simply look and listen. Now I'm going to go ahead and play through Firefly for you so you can see and hear it. Okay, now that you're able to see and hear it, I want you to join on along with me and we're going to play it now together. Let's go ahead and play through Firefly. We're going to begin with the first page. We'll break for a nice practice session and then we'll come on back and learn the end. 1, 2, right hand start. F, skip to D, 2, then E, repeat, skip down, skip up, and D, left hand G, 2, C, G, D, G, E, G, F, G, G, 2, F, E, D, 2, 3, 4. Now let's stop right there. You can pause the video. You can practice, or you can rewind it back and play it along with me one more time if you need. Go ahead and come on back. All right, now that you've practiced it through, let's go ahead and go to the second page now. This one starts with the left hand. 1, 2, left hand start. G, G, skip down. 2, now F. Skip down. 2, now E, skip up. C, skip up. Then D, D, left hand, G. 2, now the right hand. C, E, G. 2, left hand, C. E, G. 2, right hand, C. E, D, left hand, G, and C. 2, 3, All right, now again is your personal practice time. So go ahead, pause the video, play through just the second page, and come on back. Okay, here we go. Hopefully each practice time, friends, you're playing it through at least 3 to 4 times so you can feel confident about the material before we come back and play again. Now I'm going to play through the entire song with you from beginning to end. Let's go for it. 1, 2, right hand start. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, left hand. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. You got this. Go ahead, pause, practice, and come on back. Okay, so the next song that we're going to cover following Firefly is going to be Little River. Now, this is not just a song, but it is actually a technique page. So if we take a look here at the very top of the page, we have a new unit and a brand new vocabulary word. The word is legato. Go ahead and say that at home. Legato. Very nice. All right, now legato is meaning to connect the notes with no break in sound. Now, if you stand up and take a walk around your bench at your piano, don't do it yet, but I want you to do it in a moment so that you can get to see what does it feel like on the floor, between the floor and your feet. Go ahead, try it out. You should feel a connection. There's a constant connection to the floor. So as one foot goes down, the other foot's coming up, and then they're taking turns going up and down. Just as it says here below, it says when you walk, one foot goes down as the other foot comes up. To play legato, one finger goes down as the next finger comes up. So we're not going to necessarily do these, but I do want you to remember this when we move into our song. Don't worry, I'll show you exactly how it's done. One more thing, how do you know to play legato? That's where the slur is going to come into practice. A curved line over or under a group of notes means to play legato. So here is your legato sign. Now down below in our song, Little River, you're going to see that we have a long legato going from the beginning of measure 1 all the way to the end of measure 4, and then measures 5 through 8. Now underneath the title, it actually says the C 5-finger scale, so we're not actually going to write in our starting notes because at this point, friends, I know that you know where this starting place is. But let's go ahead and we're actually going to take a look and listen to what Little River sounds like. So take a listen to what it is. So notice, I'm not playing with this divided sound. This would not be legato, friends. As one finger goes down, the next comes up. So a nice, smooth, connected sound. Now, as you play, I want you to play it through with me 2 times. The first time, let's get to know these notes. Then the second time, I want you to focus in on making a nice legato sound. 1, 2, ready, let's play. Left hand. You got it? All right, nice. Now that we got to know our notes, let's go ahead and play it through once more as we work with that nice legato sound. 1, 2, ready, right hand. Smooth and connected. Two and E. 2, 3, lift off and G. 2, step down and F. 2, 3, and lift. Hey, very nice job. I know that you can do this. No issue whatsoever. Now, friends, go ahead, pause, play it through a few more times, and then come on back. How'd it go? Doing okay? All right. So let's move on. One more part we have today. The last thing on our list is Sailing in the Sun. Now, we're not going to do the entire song this week. I'm just going to get you started on the first 2 lines. What does that mean? The first line and the second line here is what we're going to work on today. Now you'll notice we do have some slurs in the house. So we have slurs because this is going to be playing nice and smooth and connected. I'm actually going to go ahead and give you your starting notes, C, and then 1 on B in the left hand. I also want you to go ahead and circle each of the quarter rests, remembering that this beat of silence is important to our playing as well. Lastly, I want to add a couple numbers just because of where we're starting. And finally, 1 skip here. And now you're all set with our first 2 lines. If you need a moment, go ahead and pause the video. All right, so let's go ahead into our song. Now I'm going to go ahead and play through this song for you. It's actually in what we would call here next door neighbors. So our hands start next to each other. Here is Sailing in the Sun. All right, so that is the entire song that you have there, my friends. So now remember, we're not playing the entire thing this week. We're only sticking to the first 2 lines. So let's go ahead and play the first 2 lines together before we go. Right hand begins with your 1 on C. Left hand begins with your 1 on B. Here we go. 1, 2, right hand starts. So it's C, B, A, G. Rest. C, C, 2. Now D. Left hand B, A, G. Rest. D, D. Second line. 3. Skip down. D, E. Rest. F, F. 2. E, C, D. Left hand B. Rest. C, C, 2. All right, friend. Now go ahead. I want you to use this time now to personal practice time to play through that a couple times before moving on to the end. All right, now we are going to finish today with our theory. So go ahead and grab your theory book. I just want to show you how to work through this today. So it says level 1, part 1. You're just going to turn to page number 2. Now page number 2 says legato or tie. Then it says under each example, label the notes and write a T for a tie or an S for a slur. Remember, same note equals a tie and the different note is a slur. So the same notes with a curved line are going to signify that we have a tie, while a group of notes or different notes together. So I'll do the first one with you. Here you have an E, and looks like that line moved a little bit, but then you have another E. Also, labeling the notes are going to help you in realizing that these are the same, so therefore we have a tie. Now down at the bottom, I want you just to keep in mind that this is a bass clef and this is a treble clef, okay? So do keep these in mind as you work through your theory. Don't forget to send that to me with your recording so that I am best able to see how you're doing. Feel free to send them straight to me in your learner chat or classroom. Hey, I have had such an awesome time with you this week. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Don't forget, send me the recording of your songs so that I can see your progress. What I've had is most learners wait until the end of the week just so they have time to practice, send it in, and then I'll tell you whether it's a pass or keep playing through that one as we move on. This is totally optional. I'm here to simply guide you through the material. I'll see you next time. Bye.